Hi, Aunty Gayle here, and today I want to talk about creating a budget. But before I start, let me get my run in as I train for my mini triathlon. Subscribe below and come on the go with Aunty Gayle for finance, food, and fitness. Let's talk about budgeting. Creating a budget is a crucial step in establishing your financial plan. Have you ever come to the end of the month or the end of your pay period and you're trying to figure out where did my money go? What did I spend this money on? Well, having a budget and keeping track of your expenses will let you know exactly where you have spent every dollar. Last time we talked about setting goals. Today, I want to talk about creating a budget. What's a budget? Well, a budget is just a financial plan, but it's a plan for a short period of time. It could be for a year, a month, 2 weeks, a week. You can even have a budget for a day. A budget is really a plan of how you're going to handle your money to be able to achieve your goals. So let's talk about budgeting. The best place to start when you're creating a budget is to start with your income. So list out all your sources of income. You might have income coming in from a job, a paycheck. You may have a side hustle, a small business, and you have income coming in from that. You may have a rental property or renting a room even, so you have rental income. So list all the sources of income. And next, look at your fixed expenses. So now we're starting to look at expenses. So a budget will list your income and will also list your expenses. If you look at your expenses, start with looking at your fixed expenses. Those are expenses that stay the same every month. They don't change. So that could be like your rent or your mortgage. It might be an insurance payment, it might be a car payment, it might be a HOA fee, any type of payment that stays the same every month. So those are your fixed expenses. Then look at variable expenses. What's a variable expense? It's an expense that changes every month. For example, your gas for your vehicle might change from month to month. If during the pandemic you didn't drive much, obviously you would have had a lower gas bill. Other expenses that change from month to month would be your food bill, groceries, what you buy in restaurants, things like that. So every month it's a different amount. Keeping track of your sources of income is easy. Everybody knows how much money they make. But keeping track of your expenses is much harder. You don't always know what you're spending on until you go back and look and see, oh yes, I spent so much in food this month. Oh yes, I spent so much on clothing this month. But I want you to start keeping track of your expenses. A good way to find all those expenses, if you usually spend with a card, is to go and use your bank statement or your credit card statement. And if you look under that statement, you will see all the expenses. Sometimes you may not be able to identify it. For example, when I look at my statement, I remember looking at a statement and I'm saying, oh my God, what is this charge for? Call the bank. Listen, I'm seeing a strange charge on my credit card bill. What is that? And while they're researching it, I remember, oh yes, I bought a pair of shoes. That's what that was. So it may not be as easy, but you have to do it. No one says planning your finances is easy. You go through your bank accounts, go through your credit card statement, and list out all your expenses, and then categorize those expenses. What do I mean by categorize the expenses? Well, you categorize them into different areas. You can use these categories: housing, transport, food, health, personal, debt, and other expenses. And don't forget savings. So let's go over those steps to creating a budget one more time. 1. Itemize your income. 2. Itemize your fixed expenses. 3. Itemize your variable expenses. And 4. Categorize those expenses. Now I want you to create a model budget. A model budget is a budget of what you want to spend every month in each of these areas. And then I want you to track your actual expenses against your model budget so that you can see where you may be overspending in any particular category. After you've made your list of expenses, you'll find that they'll fall into one of 3 categories. A need, which is a necessity, something that you have to spend on every month. A want, something you'd like to have or something that fits into your lifestyle. And or savings. So those 3 buckets: needs, necessities, wants, lifestyle spending, and investment or saving. The goal is to get as much into that saving and investment bucket as possible so that you can use that investment to achieve your goals. That's the point of it. Now that you've created your budget and you're tracking your expenses against your model budget, next time we're going to talk about saving and investment. We're going to take a deep dive and look at those expenses and see how much we can save to put towards our savings and investments rather than spending all on needs and wants. See you next time.